Hi, I'm Melissa with Mixin' Some Magic. I'm a Disney planning expert and I'm here to mix a little magic into your day. Each week I share Disney vacation planning tips, park strategies, and a little bit of Disney history sprinkled in. Of course, I like to include lots of Disney magic. Join me, let's mix in some magic. Hello and welcome. I'm so glad that you are here. The holidays are almost upon us. I don't even know how many days there are until Christmas, but not enough because it doesn't matter how prepared I get. I am never ready. Oh man, I'm feeling it today. But today I am going out to do some more shopping, hopefully get my Christmas cards mailed and check some more things off my list. So hopefully that will help the panicked feeling. I know there's still time, but I just want to have it all done so I don't have to stress about it anymore. So anyway, I'm running around doing all of the things, but I'm excited to be here with you and hang out for a little bit today. Hopefully you're feeling more relaxed and just chill about the whole Christmas season more so than I am. Today I am so excited because my friend Toni is joining me to talk all about this epic challenge she did where she went to Disney World and Disneyland in the same day. She visited all the parks at Disney World and both parks over at Disneyland all in one day, and she is coming to talk all about it. So I'm excited about that. You're going to love Toni. She's amazing. And so it should be a really fun episode. But before we get going, I want to put a little plug in for our last episode of 2024. I'm going to be talking all about why Disney matters. What it is about Disney parks that make us feel that the way that they do, what makes us keep coming back for more, what is the magic about Disney? How do they do it? How do they make us feel that way? And I would love to include your thoughts, feelings, stories, etc. So if you have any thoughts about what it is about Disney that makes it so magical, or if you have a magical story that you'd like to share, I would love to hear about it and possibly include it in the episode. So you can email me at mixinsomemagic@gmail.com. That would be amazing. I would love to hear from you. I think it's going to be a really fun episode. So send me some messages, or you could even send me a DM on Instagram. That's totally great too. But it's easier for me to keep track of things like this in my email because I get so many messages over on Instagram. So I prefer email. If that doesn't work for you, send me a message over on Instagram. Before we get going, on a personal note, I just have some exciting news that I wanted to share with you. Over Thanksgiving, then we found out that my son and his wife are going to be having a baby. So I'm going to be a grandma. Oh my gosh, it still sounds so weird to say it, but my first grandchild is on the way and I am so excited. I don't know, it's so weird and I'm so excited and there's so many feelings, all of them good, and I just can't wait. So this summer, then I'm going to be a grandma, and I've already got my grandma name. I'm going to save it though. I'll tell you about that later, but I've had my grandma name for maybe the last 15 years. So it's ready to go. No worries about that. I'm so excited though. So that is our very exciting family news, and I just can't wait. Okay, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, then Toni will be here to talk all about her awesome Disney adventure. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Mix in Some Magic. Today, I am thrilled to share with you my ultimate Disney travel hack, Getaway Today. As a diehard Disney fan, I've taken countless trips to Disney destinations, and Getaway Today has booked them all. I've been using them for over 15 years, and let me tell you, using Getaway Today has been a game changer. So, what is so special about Getaway Today? Well, I'm glad you asked. Here's the scoop. Getaway Today specializes in Disney vacations, and they've got the inside exclusive deals and discounts to Disney parks. Their park tickets are always discounted off the gate price, and they have amazing deals on hotels. They even have deals on cruises and Alani in Hawaii. Trust me, you won't find these magical offers anywhere else. Whether you're planning a family vacation, a romantic getaway, or a solo adventure, Getaway Today can craft a personalized package to suit your Disney dreams. It's like having your own fairy godmother for vacation planning. Whatever you have in mind, they can help you make it happen. Getaway Today offers layaway plans, which is amazing because Disney dreams shouldn't come with a hefty price tag, at least not all at once. Getaway Today offers payment plans that make it easy for you to budget and plan the perfect Disney vacation. They also have the very best customer service. Seriously, they are a small family-owned business and they really care about your vacation. Their customer service is top notch. The Getaway Today team is filled with Disney experts who have actually been to the park, they've actually stayed in the hotels, they know their stuff, and they are as passionate about Disney as you are. They go above and beyond to make sure your trip is practically perfect in every way. Booking through Getaway Today is super easy. You can book using their website. I've put a link in the show notes, or you can call them at 855-GETAWAY and tell them Mix and Some Magic sent you for the best deals. As a special treat for our listeners, Getaway Today is offering an exclusive discount. Just use the promo code MIX10 at checkout or over the phone, and you can save an extra $10 on packages. Thanks for tuning in, dear Disney listeners. Now go ahead, plan that unforgettable Disney adventure with Getaway Today, and let the magic begin. Before we dive into today's episode, I wanted to give a shout out to our amazing sponsor, Audible. I am now an Audible affiliate, and I am so excited about it. I've been using Audible for years, and I am really happy to have this chance to team up with a brand that I have loved and used for quite some time. If you love the magic of storytelling, but find it hard to make time for reading, Audible is your perfect solution. With Audible, you can listen to a huge selection of audiobooks, podcasts, and more, all from the convenience of your favorite device. Whether you're into thrilling mysteries, self-help, or epic fantasy, Audible has something for everyone because they have thousands of titles available. As an Audible member, you can choose one title a month to keep from their entire catalog, including the latest bestsellers and new releases. But that's not all. Members also get full access to a growing selection of included audiobooks, Audible originals, and podcasts. You can download or stream included titles all you want. Most of our Disney Book Club selections are available on Audible, including this month's title. And here's the best part. I've teamed up with Audible to offer you an exclusive deal. By using my special link, you can get a free 30-day trial of Audible. That's right, 30 days of stories, knowledge, and entertainment absolutely free. If you love podcasts, and you must because you're here, I know you'll love Audible. Just visit www.audibletrial.com/mixandSomeMagic to start your free trial today. That's www.audibletrial.com/mixandSomeMagic. I'll also include a link for you in the show notes. It's a fantastic way to discover the joy of audiobooks and to support my podcast at the same time. Happy listening, and thanks to Audible for making today's episode possible. All right, I have my friend Toni here to talk all about an epic challenge that I have heard of. I've never actually seen anybody do it where she did Disney World and Disneyland all in one amazing day. So thanks for being here, Toni, to tell us all about your adventure.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to share all about it.
It was so fun to follow along. You documented everything on Instagram, and I was like obsessed the whole day. I just kept checking. Like, did she post anything else? Did she post anything else? So I'm excited to get all the insider details. But first, can we ask some questions to get to know your Disney side?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, what is your favorite Disney park?
My favorite park out of all of the US parks, that's the only ones I've been to, is Animal Kingdom, but Disneyland is my home. So that's where my
Gotcha.
heart is. But Animal Kingdom,
Animal
I love the
Kingdom,
vibe. Yeah.
but you love Disneyland. I feel that.
Mhm.
Animal Kingdom is so awesome.
Yeah.
That might be one of my favorites too, and I think a lot of people just pass it over.
They do, and it makes me sad because it's, like, the most relaxed, it's the prettiest. I just love the energy there. It's just I think it's really special.
Mhm, I agree. Okay, what is your favorite attraction at any of the Disney parks?
Cosmic Rewind, hands down. It
It's
was
so
Guardians in DCA. Mission Breakout is my second favorite, but once Cosmic Rewind came around, it's the best.
it really is amazing. I've only done it once, and I had not watched any spoilers or
Mhm.
anything like that, and I was just, like, blown away. My
Yeah,
mind was boggled.
absolutely, and I got really lucky because I had gone to an event in July and got to ride it 5 times.
You did?
And got 5 different songs, and then when I went this last trip, I only wrote it once and got the 6th song.
You did? That is
Yeah,
so
it was
lucky.
crazy.
I think this so I think we had "Everybody Wants to Rule the World." Is that one of the
Yep.
choices? That's
Mhm.
the song I got.
Nice.
Yep. So do you have a favorite song?
I think I like Iran, which is not necessarily one I hear people say a lot, but I just like this I don't know, I there's something about the that song that I really like, so
Yeah.
that's my favorite, I think.
I love it. That's awesome. Okay, but what if you had to pick a favorite attraction at Disneyland? Is it gonna be Guardians?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love there's other ones I love, but Guardians is the one that I want to ride every time.
Yes, that one's so good too. I
Yeah.
love it. Okay, do you have a favorite Disney food? Something you love to eat at the parks?
I yes, I love the obviously raspberry rose macaron is a big one for people. I don't get that every time. Churro toffee, I will get almost every time and bring it back to all of my family and friends. I savory wise, I don't know what I always mix it up because there's always something going on, but I do love the chopped salad at Plaza Inn. That's
Oh,
like
I don't know if I've had that.
oh, it's so good.
Does it
If you
have
like
chicken
that
on
sort
it?
of thing.
Yeah. But does it
It
have chicken on it?
yeah, it's like the chicken, I think it's pecans or walnuts or something like that, and cranberries and
Mm,
maybe a little bit of blue cheese, but you can pick it out you can have them leave stuff out if you don't like it, but
yeah.
it's so
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna have to try it. It sounds really
good if
good.
you like that, yeah.
Okay, so what's on your Disney bucket list?
I really want to go to, any of the international ones. Paris, I think we will definitely do at some point. Um, Tokyo would be super cool. I just don't know. I don't know if we'll ever get there. We'll see. I'd love to, but I've already done cruises. I love cruises, so that's not a bucket list.
Yeah.
Alani would be cool. I
Yeah.
have a long Disney bucket list.
Right? Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I can't remember when it was, but I did a podcast interview with Nerdy Disney Jess. Do you know who she is?
Oh, uh-huh.
She's so great, but she talked all about her Tokyo Disney trip, and it actually cost her the same amount to take her family to Disney World as it did to Tokyo,
That's amazing.
because the flights are so expensive to get to Tokyo, but once you get there, hotels are cheaper, park tickets are cheaper, food is cheaper, and when you go to Disney World, flights are cheaper, but everything else is more expensive, and she said it cost about the same, which I was
That's
so
crazy to
surprised
me.
by. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't
Wow.
know, maybe Tokyo's not really that out of reach.
Right. That's good to know because that's always the overwhelming part. I hear the flights are really expensive,
Right.
all of that, but yeah.
I don't know. Might be worth pricing it out.
Yeah.
See. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think I've known you for I don't know how many years, a couple.
Yeah. Mhm.
right? Can you
Yeah.
tell us about yourself? Tell us about your Tony self.
Okay. I'm a mom. I've been married for 26 years. I've got 5 kids, but our last one is getting ready to graduate this year. So we're about to be empty nesters. I just found
Yay!
out I'm also going to be a Grammy. So
Yay!
that's exciting. I've loved Disney from the time I was a kid. I collected VHS stuff as a teenager, like tapes and all of that because I loved it that much. And so I started after the kids started getting older, started looking more at traveling more, and was going to Disney. And so I started a Instagram because of that and I'm connected with Getaway Today, which that's how we met.
Uh-huh.
So but yeah, that's like so I have an Instagram page and that's where I shared all of my 6 parks in one day stuff.
So what's your Instagram?
It's happily ev dot ear dot after because I have a huge collection of Minnie Mouse ears, like huge, like
Okay, well, I'll put
hundreds,
a link down there. How many ears do you think you have?
too many to count. Like when I counted when I first started Instagram, I was like at 130 and I have way more than that now.
Oh my gosh.
Like I don't even want to count because it's probably so bad.
Where do you keep all them?
I have bins and I label them according to like categories because
Mhm.
that's my way of making it feel not so bad. But like I have sequin ears and then I have cute ears and I have park ears and I have ride ears and like,
I love it.
yeah,
I love it. That's amazing. Okay.
yeah, it's fun.
And how often do you get to Disneyland? I feel like you're there often.
It kind of go through spurts, it feels like, but usually when I am going, I go, it's like all together and then I'll have a break for a couple months and then I'm there like sometimes 10 days apart. I'm going again in end of January
Are
uh
you?
for the 10K
Oh,
to
yeah, bless your
Ashley and
heart.
yeah.
Every
And
time I see people doing it and I'm like, "I should do that," and then I remember that I hate running and I hate being cold and I hate getting up early.
I hate all those things too, but I still am stupid enough to do it. So, I don't know.
Maybe I'll come
Um
and just cheer you guys on.
That would be fun.
That would be
But
real
yeah, and
fun
then
for
I'm
me.
turning around and going to another event on the 5th. So I come back on the 1st and I go back on the 5th. So it seems to happen that way a lot. So I would say on average every couple months.
Yeah, so fun. I love it. Okay, well, tell us about your challenge and, like, how you came up with this plan and stuff like that.
So it started I was actually in Disneyland for Ashley's shenanigans trip for if you don't know about it, she started it last year. For those who don't know, and we were all together and my friend that lives in Boise, Becca Robbins, she approached me and she's like, "Hey, I have a crazy idea. I know you're in Disneyland right now, but call me when you get home." And I'm like, "Okay, that's not going to work for me. Like I need to know this now." And she's like, "Okay, well give me
Exactly.
a call when you have a chance." So I call her and she's like, "I was thinking that I would really like to do this 6 parks, do all 6 US parks in one day. What do you think? Would you wanna come along?" And I'm like, Sure, sign me up." But I'm her person that she'll call when she has a crazy idea to just go along with it.
I
So,
love those phone calls, though. They're like, "I have a crazy idea.
yeah.
I'm in. I don't even care what it is.
Exactly.
I'm
How can
ready."
I not?
Right?
So
Because when would you ever get a chance to do that again? If you have someone who wants
exactly.
to do it with you?
Yeah, 100%, and she was like, she had, Marriott points for the hotel, we wound up switching that, but, like, that was part of it, that wasn't gonna cost anything, and then she had a connection in Anaheim that doesn't cost a lot, and so I already had a Disney World ticket for 1 day, so I just had to upgrade it to a 3 days, and I have a pass, so it's
Yeah.
like, I had enough points to pay for my flight. It was a no-brainer.
It was basically free.
Yeah, girl math.
Pretty much free. That's so fun. I love it. What a
Yeah,
fun idea.
yeah, it was
And so you guys had rules though, right?
yes.
Like you
It
set
yeah,
up your own little parameters. So what were
yeah.
your rules?
So, because we wanted it to be unique, because I know other people have done this before. So, ours was you had to ride one ride in each park that was unique to that park. Like it could not be in any of the other Disney parks that we were visiting. So, You couldn't do Big Thunder in Disney World or Magic Kingdom because we have it in Disneyland, things like that. So we had to pick one that was unique, and then we had to get a picture in front of one of the park icons. And then the last thing was that we had to use Disney transportation to get between the parks, except for when from the airport to Disneyland. And then, yeah, I think that was, and then I think from, no, we used it for everything else. Yeah. So that was the only one was the airport to Disneyland. So those were our three conditions.
Okay. That sounds tricky though. So were you nervous or were you like, this is a slam dunk? We can do this easy.
I was nervous because not only did we, I mean, it's a lot to take on, but our flight, while we were supposed to get in at like 6:45, which should give us enough time, there was 2 flights, and there was a layover in Austin, and flights are tricky, and you never know if there's gonna be delays, and so that part had me more nervous than anything else, but we really tried to be strategic in our
Yeah.
plan of what we picked and stuff, so that was the scariest part was the flights.
Mhm. Okay, so tell me about the whole day. I wanna hear about from the beginning.
Okay,
Where
so
did
this
you
is
guys
where
start? Because you had to be strategic about where you even started at Disney
Yeah,
World.
yep,
You can't
absolutely.
just like, you had to really think this through.
We did. So it was like we actually met in Boise, before our trip and, like, talked about all of the details to make sure
Yeah.
that we had a good plan and that we had backups, because that was the other thing is
Oh,
making sure
yeah.
things can go wrong. So, and I took notes on this because there was so much going into it that I'm like, my brain, I have to try and remember. No way, that's not happening at this age. So
You're almost a grandma, like
yeah,
me.
exactly. So, we started our first park was Animal Kingdom because they had early entry that started at 7:30. So, we're like, "Okay, that's the earliest." Originally, I think Magic Kingdom was gonna be later, and they wound up having early entry at the same time. So, that caused a little bit of a tweaking, but it wasn't really a big issue.
So you guys
So
were staying on property then?
oh, yes, we were staying at Coronado Springs. That was
Okay.
both our first time there, which that was a beautiful resort. I was, like, stunned by it, but
Yeah, so
anyway.
pretty.
But, yeah, we started at Coronado Springs and got a bus, took the bus from there to Animal Kingdom and lined up. We were right I think there was one couple in front of us at the
You
early
guys got there early. Like, what
we
time
did.
did you get on that bus, do you think?
Whatever time it opened is when we were down there by. I'm trying to remember what that was. It was
It
I
was
wanna
probably, like, an hour before the park
Yeah,
opened.
I think it was like 6:30 maybe?
Yeah,
I think we had to leave our room by like 6. We were up
yeah.
early.
Oh,
So,
man. Yeah,
yeah,
and packed because you had to be ready
yeah,
to go. So
exactly,
did
we
you
did.
have to drop your bags off at
At
the
the
front desk too?
Yep,
Yeah.
we did. We had to wake up really early out of the room by 6, take our bags to the bag check. They held them for us, and then get on the bus and get there right at the front. And where a lot of people are like, "Oh, why didn't you do flight of passage or something fun?" Like, we were there a couple days before, so we did get to experience the things that we wanted to before,
Mhm.
but for this, that's where everybody goes, and
Right.
so, being strategic, it was like, "Okay, we're not gonna do that, we're gonna do Navi River Journey because less people there," and we, again, wound up, like, the 2nd people in on that, so we
Nice.
got in and out very quickly on that.
That's one of my favorite rides.
Love it, I think it's so pretty, and I
I
don't
do
understand why it
too.
gets I don't know, it's
I
overlooked
don't
too much.
either. It's so
Yeah,
relaxing and
it is.
beautiful, and
Yeah,
I love it.
I do too. So
Yeah.
I was okay with that choice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so we did that. We were done. We got our photo in front of the Tree of Life because, of
Mhm.
course, that's the Animal Kingdom icon.
Yep.
And we were out of there, I think by 8 or so. I think we got picked up. We booked a minivan around 7:45. We booked it for I was watching the times and we booked it and it was a pretty quick turnaround at that point. And so we just waited for that. I think we got picked up about 8:15 or so, 8:10, 8:15 to head to Magic Kingdom.
So you guys weren't do you were doing standby lines. You weren't doing the
Yes, for
multi-pass, right?
most of it. For
Okay.
most of it. So, we did purchase the multi-pass lightning lane for that day for our last park, in our last park only because it was Hollywood Studios, which
Mhm.
tends to have long lines on
Yeah.
most nights. So
Right.
we booked that because we were staying on site. We booked that 7 days in advance. We were both on there.
Good.
And
So you
so
knew you had it.
yeah, so I booked the one that we were trying to go for. She was booking our other days. Like, we were in communication the whole time trying to plan all this out. And so but it went really smoothly. We got everything we wanted with those bookings and backup
Thank
bookings that
goodness.
day. Yeah.
Now, Disney World doesn't have restrictions on park hopping times like Disneyland, right? So
Yes.
thank goodness.
Yes, because there's no way, like, people have talked about trying to do it reverse, and it's like, we couldn't do it reverse, not only because of the time difference, but because of the park hopping.
Yeah, you
It
can't hop till 11.
yeah, so that is a big part of what made it possible
Yeah.
for us, so, yeah. So,
Okay,
and
so
then
you went to in the minivan,
yes,
cute
which that was my
minivan.
first time in the minivan. It was really fun.
Yeah, they're
It's more
adorable.
expensive than the normal Uber, but or Lyft, but yeah, it was nice. It was very convenient. You get to come right up where the buses drop you off instead of at the transportation center.
Mm.
So that's a perk of it. But yeah, so that was pretty easy to use.
And
Just
they were like, "Why are you leaving the park? It only opened
exactly.
15 minutes ago."
We definitely got some looks of like, wait, what?
Like, "We gotta
Yeah.
go."
So and then when we got to Magic Kingdom, we pretty much I was thinking it was 8:15, but it was earlier than that. We did get out of there earlier than that because we actually got to Magic Kingdom around like 8:08. So we
Oh, yeah.
pretty much rope dropped. It was, a little
Yeah,
after rope drop, but pretty close to rope dropping
that's impressive.
Magic Kingdom. Yeah. So that was pretty we were doing great. We were off to a good start. So we were
Uh-huh.
like, let's keep this momentum going. And our choice for Magic Kingdom was People Mover.
Of
Because
course, classic.
I know. And like most people, you don't think are gonna rope drop People Mover.
Wouldn't
So
think so.
it might take a little bit it's a little bit longer of a ride, I guess, but it's not that long. And it was a fun way to start off our day and just like observe the area. So
Yeah.
and I love that ride.
Regroup.
Yeah, exactly. Take a little break off our feet.
Uh-huh.
So and then, of course, the castle, we had to get a picture there.
Yes. So,
So
did you guys eat at any point too? No breakfast
no, we
yet.
kept so we had snacks, we packed snacks in
Okay.
our bag because it's like most of the places aren't even open when we
Mhm.
were there because we had talked about whether we wanted to make that a requirement to have to get a treat in each park, but it was like every
Oh,
place they don't open until later. So
yeah,
there's
Animal
certain
Kingdom, you wouldn't
yeah,
have been able to do anything.
no. I was really glad we removed that requirement because I don't think that
Yeah,
would've worked for us. So,
probably
but yeah.
not.
So we did that, and then for Magic Kingdom see, this is the part I'm like, "What did we take next?" We did the monorail from
Okay.
Magic Kingdom, and I think at that point it was 8:30, so we were already like, her whole idea when she broke this part out, it was like, "Give us an hour from one park till the time we're entering in the next park."
So you guys
So
were ahead.
we were ahead. Yeah, we were
Nice.
doing great.
Yes, that's a
Yeah.
good place to be.
It absolutely. So we were feeling pretty good, but, you don't wanna get too excited because you never know what could go wrong. And so it's like, okay, so, yeah, so when we got to Epcot, of course, there's Spaceship Earth right there. We got our picture there, and this ride, this is a this was not one I was excited about because it's not my favorite, but we rode Figment.
You did Figment? Oh, I thought you would do Spaceship Earth.
No, we did that the day before because Becca wanted to do it.
So you did Figment.
We did Figment, and it's fine. It's a fine ride. It's weird,
It is
but
weird. I think
yeah,
that because I didn't grow up going to Disney World. I didn't go to Disney World till I was an adult. And so I
yes,
think if you went to Disney World as a kid and
mhm,
rode Figment, then you have this nostalgic thing
yes.
for it, but I don't have that.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I
So,
feel like if you go, you have to ride it
oh
just to
yeah.
say you rode it, but I don't get the love.
I don't either. And when I took my kids on it for the first time, they were all teenagers and like older kids,
Yeah,
and they got off of it and they were like, "What just happened?" Like, I don't
exactly,
know, but people
exactly.
love this ride.
Yeah.
We don't get it.
That's my feeling. I took my mom on it when she was because it was her first time when we went in 2021, 22, And I was like, "You have to ride this ride. It's weird, but you have to ride it." And that was her exact reaction is like, "Okay, what just happened?" So, we did it
Bizarre.
though, like, we rope dropped basically because we
Yeah.
were there
Well,
for the beginning of Epcot's opening too, so we rope dropped Epcot too.
yeah, because what time did they open?
9.
9? Oh, you
Yeah,
guys were doing so good. And
I
you
know.
know that you're not gonna have a long wait
Yeah,
for Figment. You had to
exactly.
pick them like that too, because you can't
Yep.
go to Frozen
No.
or Ratatouille,
Wow.
because who knows how long you'll have to wait. You don't have that
That's
kind of time.
exactly it. Yeah, we had to be very strategic and make sure it was close to where we were going. It was like, "Okay, this is right here, and then we know we're gonna do the Skyliner next, so, like, what's our best
Yes.
path for that?" Like, yeah, so
Mhm.
it worked out really well because we got off of that and, like, went straight to the Skyliner,
Nice.
and at that point, most of the because the park had already opened, the lines weren't crazy, it wasn't
Yeah,
a long.
nobody's trying to leave
Nope.
either.
And again, we got some looks, but
They're like, "We've had enough. We're
yeah.
done. No more Epcot."
Yeah. We didn't have to battle crowds on leaving at all.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Yeah.
You guys were killing it
Yeah, we
those first 3
really were
parts.
like and I think that was the biggest thing when we were going along. I think after the second we got off People Mover and I looked at Becca and I'm like, "This is awesome." Because we had this, like, adrenaline rush, which
Yeah.
I was not expecting. I thought we were gonna be so tired and just, like, wiped out from that day, and it was the complete opposite. Like, we were
Mhm.
so hyped even by the end of the day. It was like, "We're gonna have to do something to calm us down."
A long
So
plane ride to California might help.
right? Yeah, there may have been some napping involved.
I hope so.
But yeah.
Okay, so then you guys went to Hollywood Studios, and that opened before. Like, did that open at
Yes.
9 or 8?
I
Probably 8.
I
I
would
don't
think 8. Yeah, I would think 8. We had booked the way that we planned it because you have an hour window to use your lightning lane, so we planned it, like, anywhere from 10 to 10:30, book it for your start time, hoping that
Mhm,
that's when we would get there because we wanted to be out of the parks no later than 11:15. Our flight was, like, at 1:50.
mhm.
So we had to give ourselves time to get to the hotel, get our bags, all that stuff. So
Yeah.
our strategy was book a lightning lane for Tower of Terror for anywhere between 10 and 10:30 start time, and then we did backups of Rock and Roller Coaster and the Alien Swirling Saucers as a way back up. So,
So, bottom of the
um
barrel. Things have gone
yeah,
off the rails
exactly.
if it's that one.
Yeah. So, but everything went smoothly with that too. We scanned right in, got on, got off with no issues, and it was fun because that was actually, like, a really fun ride.
Yeah.
And that's the ride we ended on, and then got a picture in front of Tower of Terror because,
Mhm.
again, that's there are others. Some people say the theater where Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, like, that's a big one, but I feel like Tower of Terror is, like,
Yeah.
more like, I
More
don't know.
iconic. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what we did.
That's fun. And you guys were still ahead of schedule then?
Yep. I think we left at, like, 10:45 from Hollywood Studios, and we
Yeah,
took the
you
bus.
didn't I thought maybe you'd squeeze in another ride.
No. I think we didn't wanna jinx ourselves.
Yeah. Like, it's going too good.
Yeah,
Keep it going.
exactly. So, we took the bus back to the hotel and then got our bags and Uber to the airport. Obviously, they don't have they do have the one option, but it's not really a normal Disney transportation, so,
Yeah.
yeah, airport was the exception. And then yeah, and then a long gap.
So what time did your flight leave? You told me, but I forgot.
150.
1:50. Okay.
Yeah, so we got to the hotel, got our bags, got picked up pretty quickly, and we were at MCO pretty early for our flight, but not, like, crazy early. And
Mhm.
you never know with security lines there either. It's like it's
Right.
so hit or miss, but our lines were empty. The security lines, there was, like,
Nice.
nobody waiting. Again,
Yeah.
hello. And
It's like
we
they
both had
knew.
yeah, we both had TSA PreCheck too, so
Mhm.
that was kind of our insurance that, like,
Yeah.
okay, well, even if it's busy, we have this, so hopefully it'll be
Right.
fine. So, but yeah,
Did
we
you
didn't.
check bags?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was the other thing, we checked bags too,
You
which
have
I mean,
to.
it was a 9-day trip from start to finish, so it's like there's no way
Yeah.
we could do it a carry-on. I'm not that girl.
I'm
So
not either. I gave up on that. Even if it's a 2-day trip, I'm gonna check a bag.
me too.
I don't understand how people do it. I did it one time where
Mhm.
I just packed in a carry-on and I was annoyed the whole trip because I didn't have all the stuff that I wanted. And
Yeah,
I don't feel like I have a lot of stuff, but more than a carry-on.
exactly. That's
And I
exactly
like
it.
to bring extra jackets because I might get
Right?
I have all these what if scenarios.
Right.
And
Yes,
so
that's how I
I was
am
like,
too.
I'm not doing that again. Just
Yeah.
check the bag.
Exactly.
I
And
like
I
it
don't have
better.
to deal with putting it in the overhead bin and, like, I
Yeah.
just no, thank you.
Mm-mm. I don't like it.
Me either.
So how long was your flight?
So both of them were one was 2.5 hours. The first one was 2.5 hours to Austin, and the second one was about 3 hours. And then we had a layover. I think it was, like, barely over an hour layover in
Mhm.
Austin, but all of our flights were on time. We landed early at both on both flights. Like, I
Thank
seriously
goodness.
felt like the pixie dust and all of the good wishes, like, were coming our way.
Yeah. Well,
So,
did you feel anxious while you were at the airport and having your layovers and on the plane because you still had the other 2 parks, or were you like, "It's in the bag"?
I I was feeling confident once we got on our last flight. Then I started feeling, like, a
Yeah,
little bit more relaxed. I
yeah,
was until we had everything, like, we were boarded and everything actually took off, I'm like, "Okay."
okay, yeah. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, yeah, they're projecting or that we're gonna land early.
Yeah,
We should be okay. So,
yes.
yeah,
So then
we
you guys
supposed to get in
landed.
yeah,
Sorry,
we
what'd
were
you
supposed to
say?
get in at 6:45, we got in at 6:30. Um,
Nice.
and got our bags and Becca has a friend there that picked us up from the airport, and she has access to the Grand Californian, the gate, like, the that not everybody else can go in because her business that she does,
Mm.
and so she was able to get us into the Grand Californian right there. She took our bags to our hotel that we were
Oh,
staying
that
at.
was nice.
Yeah, and then so that we just went through Grand Californian into DCA and
Nice.
stopped, and that's where things got a little
Did things go off the rails?
Of course, our home park did us wrong.
But what time was this? Like, what time did you get into DCA?
I think it was a little after 7 or around 7, somewhere in there. So we still had a lot of time, but no, it was probably later. It's probably like 7:30. But we
Yeah.
still because World of Color was gonna be starting, which shuts down a lot of the things around there. So we had limited options of where. And
Mhm.
so we had talked about some of the rides that we wanted to possibly do and decided that we wanted to do Monsters Inc. because it was away from World of Color and they have Buddy Pass that we
Right.
could if it was going, so we could always use that. But when we got into the parks, oh my gosh, my cat. Get down. Jumped up on the table. When we got into the park, it was down.
Oh,
And we're like,
shoot.
"Okay, well, here's our first snag." And so then we're like, "Okay," looking through the app, I'm like, "Okay, well, we the Swinging Wheel of Death," what's it actually called? I call it Pixar
Mickey's
Pal Around? Is that what it is?
Pixar Pal Around,
Yeah,
yes.
okay. I love that ride, but whatever,
I
and
hate it, it's so scary.
I know, and Becca's a non-swinging girl, so we were gonna do non-swinging, we're like, "We'll just do that because it was still going. Because we looked, we're like, "That one shuts down," but it was still going, and so we get all the way around, and right when we're walking up, they shut it down. And we're like, "Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?" So so then back to the app, Monsters Inc. is back up. So we're
Uh-huh.
like, "Oh, and it's only like a 20-minute wait." So we're like, "Alright, let's go, and maybe they'll have Buddy Pass, and we can, even make that shorter." And we start walking, and we get about to Cars Land, and I look at the wait time again, and now it's 45 minutes.
Oh,
So
of
I'm like,
course.
"Okay, nope." So we were right about then, we were coming up on Luigi's, which was a 15-minute wait, so we're like, "Luigi's it is."
Yep, Luigi's
And
for the win.
yep, and so that was our plan. You gotta be able to pivot, and you gotta be ready to change the plan and be flexible, so
Yeah.
that was our biggest hurdle, that we faced. We did have a little one in Disneyland, but not too
What
bad.
where did you take a picture in DCA?
We did catch that in front of the Pixar Pal Around. So it was dark because at that point it was dark out, but
Yeah.
like so it took us a little bit to get the lighting right and we're trying different like this, and it took us a few tries, but we got it. So
That's perfect.
Yeah.
And then did you eat yet? You ate at the airport though, right?
Yeah, we did eat at the airport. Yep.
Okay. I
Yeah, we
just don't want
grabbed
you to be hungry
food
your
before
whole
our
day.
flight, and I had stuff for on the second flight because I'm like,
Yeah.
I cannot skip meals."
Yeah.
So, yeah,
So
and we did run
then
into Jen from Getaway today in
oh,
DC
fun.
for real quick, so we actually had time to, like, visit a little.
Yeah, and chit chat.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
and
guys
then
had all the time in the world at that point, because what time was it when you hopped to Disneyland?
it was around 9, probably it was before 9 because the park hadn't quite closed, but I think by the time we got there, it was around 9. The only thing is they normally Disneyland has typical is closing around 11 or 12 depending on the night, and that night they closed at 10. So,
Oh, they did?
yeah.
Oh,
So we
I
were
didn't
like,
realize that. I was like, "You have 3 hours.
right?
You're gonna be totally
Exactly.
fine."
Yeah, so that was a little bit like, "Okay, we should be okay, but, like, we can't just dawdle, we can't
Right.
dawdle because of
Yeah.
that." So
What
and
if you
thankfully
didn't make it? Like,
I
being
know,
that
I would have been
close
so
to it?
upset. That was what I was like, "We did so well, and then to not make it, I would have been."
Yeah,
And the night before, they closed at 7
they
for
did.
the cast member preview of Tiana's. So I
Ooh.
was like, "Please don't do that again." Because
Yeah,
there's no way we would have been done.
yeah, you
So,
could do it.
yeah, so we got over to Disneyland, and we didn't have a set ride, we were just like any of the dark rides, like Mr. Toad's, Snow White, something like that, because they're different or they
Yeah.
don't have them. So we were gonna do like, go in there and just see what the waits were, except because of the fireworks and our time,
Oh, yeah. They
all of
closed them
that
all
area was
down.
closed. So
Shoot.
yeah, so they were diverting everybody around the Matterhorn, to get up into 'cause like, do we try and do Small World? That one takes a while. So we're like, yeah, trying to figure out what we're gonna do, and then we saw Storybook Land was open,
Mhm.
and it was like a 20-minute wait. So we're like, "Okay, we could do this. Like, this would
Yeah,
work."
yeah.
And so we get in line and yeah, and we wound up talking to a cast member in line telling her about our adventure and how because we were kind of, like, hyped up.
They're like,
And,
"We're
like, "This is
doing
our
it!"
last ride, and, like, this is what we've been doing all day," and
Yeah.
she was really awesome, and then we got on Storybook Land, and then when we pulled up, she was actually waiting there for us with 2 congratulation or celebrating buttons, and she's like, "Congratulations!" So it was, like, the perfect
Aw.
way to end our adventure, and of course, we took our picture in front of the castle, and a few friends met up with us and got a picture with us to celebrate, so
So fun.
it
That's
was
so
so
cute of
fun.
her to, like, bring you little celebration buttons.
Yeah, yeah. So we went into Emporium and they wrote it on our buttons what we were celebrating, and it was just really special, and then we walked out of there right into all of the snow coming down and
You
on Main
did?
Street. I was like, "This is the best day ever."
So perfect.
Yeah, it was
So,
great.
how exhausted were you?
Not at all.
Really? I
No,
love that.
I could not believe the adrenaline rush, like, it's seriously, we were just, like, so hyped up.
Yeah.
We both felt like we need to, like, either take a bath or something to calm us down so we could go
Uh-huh.
to sleep. Because, yeah, it was so, thrilling. It was so much fun. So now we're like, "Okay, what challenge can we do next?"
That's so fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
What challenge could you do next? Something with airplanes for
I
sure.
know. Yeah, somebody had offered the suggestion of all of the international parks, and Becca was like, "Are you gonna pay for that?
Yeah.
Are you gonna fund that?"
You mean, like, in a week, or how
I
would you
think just accomplish all of that, like, in one trip.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
like, as much as I would love to do that
Yeah, that would be a little bit pricey.
yeah.
I mean, it would be cool. I'm
It
sure
would
it's
be
been
cool.
done before. I'm
I'm
sure
sure it has. I
somebody's
think
done it.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it has, but yeah.
You need to set up, like, a GoFundMe
Yeah, there we go.
for anyone who wants Tony to go to all the parks in one
Yeah,
trip.
exactly. Yeah, so who knows? Who knows what we'll be doing next, but
It
it was
is fun
fun.
to do, like, little challenges,
Mhm.
especially when you go to the parks often, it's fun to
Yeah.
do
Yeah,
something different.
absolutely.
Yeah, so would you recommend people try this one?
I think that if you could, as long as you just have to remember the time changes in your favor going from East Coast to West Coast, because that's a
Mhm.
3-hour time difference. So
Mhm.
don't try and do it the other way. It's not gonna
Yeah.
work.
No, like you really
Uh,
couldn't.
No, I don't see how you could make that work, but it
Yeah.
was fun. Like, we had so much fun, and I things did go smooth for the most part for us, so we were very lucky.
Mhm.
So, based off of our experience, I think if you had the opportunity to do it, do it.
Yeah. Is there anything you would change about it? If you were gonna do it again, would you be like, "We're gonna do this different?"
I don't think there was anything. I feel like we planned it out so well that even with the hiccups, we had enough of a way to get around it, because
Yeah.
I honestly felt like it went so smooth that I don't think I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked out perfectly. I don't think we could have had it go any better than it did for
Right?
us, so
Yeah. It really couldn't, and the weather was on your side
yeah. No rain, like, no snow.
or snow shutting down.
Mhm.
I guess there's probably not snow. Your layover was where?
Austin.
Oh, so you probably they don't have snow in Austin, right? I have no idea.
I don't know. Maybe at some point, but not I don't think it's a big issue. I don't know.
We do not know.
I've been to Texas, like, once, twice last year for, like,
Yeah, we don't know. Huh. Well, that's so fun. It made me wanna try it, but then at the same time, I was, like, just tired thinking about it.
And that's what I expected. I thought we would be just
Yeah.
exhausted. We were more tired from Walt Disney World the 2 days before
Mhm.
than we were that day or any of our California days after. So, because it
Yeah.
was a 9-day trip, it did not feel like a 9-day trip. It actually felt kind of relaxing once we got past that day. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it
Because
was fun.
you did a few days at Disney World before and then a few days at Disneyland after.
Yeah, we were like 5 days after after our big day because of we had the kickoff for the holidays in both parks.
I didn't realize that. That's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, because we got there on the oh, yeah, and that's when we got in on the 11th, we did the Merry Christmas, the party thing, the Mickey's Christmas
Yeah.
party on the
Yeah.
12th, and the kickoff, I think, was that same day, which is
Mhm.
on a Wednesday or I don't know, whatever day that was, Tuesday, Wednesday, somewhere in there. It all
Yeah.
blended together. But, yeah, so we got the kickoff there, and then we got the kickoff there plus Tiana's opening. So we got to ride Tiana's in both sides, so it was fun.
Oh, that's fun. So do you have one that you thought did it better? Because you did them back to back, basically.
Yeah, I definitely got absolutely soaked in Disneyland. I did not like that part. I was front row. I'm like,
I
"Are you guys?"
remember seeing your picture. Your picture
Yeah,
is so cute. You're plugging your nose.
yeah.
It's the
I
cutest.
felt it was appropriate since I'd already pretty much jumped in the pool. So but yeah, and we didn't get barely wet at all with Disney World, so that part I liked, but I don't know. I didn't really I get maybe because I only rode them once, I didn't have enough time to really analyze. They were
Yeah.
both pretty
But
cool,
you
so
didn't feel like there was one that stood out as being way better.
no. I know everybody says the other Disneyland one is, like, faster pace. I didn't necessarily notice that. Of course, I was more scared of the water every time, so I was focused on that. I'm like, "Is this it? Is this it?" So,
That's how I was when I wrote it. I'm like, I couldn't even enjoy it because I was
yeah,
so
yeah,
stressed about how wet I was gonna get.
exactly.
So
Exactly.
I don't even know what happened on the ride.
Yeah,
No idea.
that's I was glad I had the Walt Disney World one first because then I did take all of that in, and the slow
Yeah.
pace kinda helped, take it in, but I'm
Mhm.
sure I will enjoy the other one if I'm covered in ponchos and boots.
Yeah. And it's July.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, not November.
No, not November. Well, it sounds so fun. I love it. I'm glad you got to go and do both parks
Me
one
too.
day. I did when I heard you were doing it, I thought you were crazy. I was like,
We
"How
got
are
that a
you
lot.
gonna even do that?"
Yeah, we got that a lot.
It turns out you're not.
We did it.
That's so great. So fun. Well, thanks for coming and chatting with us all
Thanks
about
so much for having me, it's
your
fun.
adventures. Tell us one more time where everyone can find you over on Instagram.
It's at happily Ev, so EV dot ear to emphasize ear, EAR dot after. It's a complicated username. I've thought about changing it. I just don't know what to yet. So,
I'll put a link in the show description.
okay.
Click on it. You know what I want to see? I want a video of all your ears.
Oh boy.
That's what I want to see on Instagram. That's the
Okay.
content I am dying to have.
Right now, they're all in our storage unit in the bins because of moving and stuff, but yeah, I actually want to share it. I'm just so scared to count because it's gonna be bad.
I'm excited. You should have, like, a little poll, have people vote. How many ears do they think you
That's a
have?
good Yeah, that's a
You
good
could have a
idea.
winner.
Oh gosh.
That'd be fun. 'Kay. That's your next challenge, count your
Okay.
ears.
Alright.
Well, thanks so much, Tony. It was fun to chat with you.
You. Thanks for
We'll
having
see
me.
you later.
Alright. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much to Tony for coming and chatting with me on the podcast. So much fun. I always love hanging out with her. She's just the best. So thank you, Tony. All right, before we go, don't forget to send me in your magical moments, your feelings about Disney magic. What is it about it that keeps you coming back for more? Why do you love it so much? Send me an email at mixintomagic@gmail.com. Let me know your thoughts and feelings. I can't wait to hear everything that you have to say. It's going to be great. Okay, I will be back next week for Patreon members. I'm so excited about next week's episode, Patreon members, because I'm doing a Once Upon a Time episode into one of my very favorite lands at Disneyland, and there's so much to talk about, so many stories, hidden gems, that kind of thing. I can't wait. So I will be back next week for Patreon members. For everyone else, I'll be back 2 weeks. Yes, in 2 weeks for our final episode of the season. Thank you so much for listening. You are the best. We'll talk soon.